Hi everyone, my name is Jenna and welcome to my channel Divine Direction. In this video, we are going to be looking at the full moon messages for the sign of Libra. So Libra, I have kind of arranged it where there seems to be about three different categories, topics, that we are being encouraged to release right now. And this is a general reading. So obviously it's going, some of it might not resonate with you and others will. So just take what resonates and leave the rest, okay? I'm just going to jump in. The first topic that we're going to get into is releasing stress. So I was feeling a little bit like I needed to breathe. And I saw the word chaotic and I saw chaotic events. So chaotic events or anything chaotic, it doesn't have to be actual, when I say that, I think about natural disasters and things that are much bigger than us going on in the world, and that can bring us stress, absolutely. So it could be that, it could be a part of it that's contributing to this feeling of stress, but also, and I'm feeling dizzy right now, stress can be felt when we feel that our life is a little chaotic. And I'm just kind of seeing someone right now who's like, oh my gosh, I didn't get dinner ready. I forgot to get this at the grocery store. The laundry isn't done. I have this much work to do. I have to do this, okay? So stress can manifest in different ways, look like completely different things in everybody's life, okay? So whatever this is for you, Libra, if you're resonating with this, we're strongly being encouraged to release stress and find new coping mechanisms. That's what I'm hearing, okay? So, with me taking a breather, that is a good way for me to kind of release some tension and refocus. And I mean, it's just in the moment, but it's a good practice to have. So you did have the deep breathing card come out. So for some of you, you might benefit from doing some breathing exercises just to help you calm down in the moment, right? So I just exhale until I can't exhale anymore. There's a lot of different breathing exercises and techniques that you can look up and find on YouTube or read about. But finding a way to calm down in the moment is really going to help you, because it can help you kind of refocus and bring you back. I know sometimes in my mind it gets chaotic, and this could be you too, where there's so much going on, there's so much that you're thinking of, and you think of one thing and then that snowballs to you thinking about another thing, and we just need to clear our head and relieve some stress from our body, okay? So you're definitely also being encouraged to release stress from your body. So again, could be so many different things that you could do. Massage, taking a bath. You do have take a walk. That helps me to kind of recenter and calm down. And I keep coming back to the word to recentering. So this is, this is really helpful if you can find different methods to help you kind of de-stress and recenter, so that we can look at what's going on in a more logical way. So I'm seeing the word prioritize. So when there's so much to do, we can calm down a little bit and say, okay, what's the most important thing that I need to deal with right now? And that's what I've been learning, because again, my mind has been so chaotic, probably the majority of my life. And now I have to, okay, Jenna, it's just like a healthier way of giving yourself a slap on the face. Okay, we need to focus. What is priority right now? All right. So that's what I'm kind of getting, not the slap on the face, but just like the gentle reminder of, okay, honey, focus. Okay. I really love this, because this is what I was feeling when I when I saw the surrender stress card. So I'm like, okay, I'm feeling aromatherapy right now. So I got out my self-care deck, and yeah, we got aromatherapy. So for some of you, this might help you. I remember this one time I was at my naturopath and I was like freaking out. I was really scared to go back to a job because of the way that the manager treated me and yelled at me, and I don't know why, but I was having like an anxiety attack, and she got out essential oils and she put them on different spots on my neck and around me, and I instantly calmed down. So I honestly don't know a lot about essential oils. I have some, but I'm seeing the word diffuser, so maybe some of you would benefit from diffusing maybe lavender or another scent that brings you a sense of calm, okay? You can add them to your bath. There's so many different methods that you could use with this. But for some of you, they're suggesting aromatherapy. Okay. And, okay, so they're making me think of my grandpa and how he, like the smells that remind me of him, and he's passed away. But it's kind of like, it's weird. The smell of his garage, how that brings me a sense of happiness and peace and joy, and I feel like it's a little emotional for me, but you know what, it doesn't have to be like, okay, well, they say that lavender's calming, so I have to use lavender. Is there a scent that calms you? Maybe it's lighting a candle that smells like chocolate chip cookies, because chocolate chip cookies make you think of when you would bake cookies with your parents, or or your best friend or something like that, right? So we don't want to limit ourselves to what other people say. These are calming scents, but think about what brings you joy and what helps you calm down. Okay, now I love this card, the health checkup card. So when we're talking about centering, I always go back to food and my physical body. Am I eating well? Am I getting enough water? Am I getting enough sunshine, exercise, all of that? So the health checkup part, sorry, the health checkup card, when it comes out, I really stress for you to maybe take some time and just kind of reflect on, okay, how's my eating? How's this? How's that? Where can I improve a little bit to help keep me more stable? Okay. More often than not, if I'm feeling like my life is being a little chaotic, I will start to think, all right, am I eating too much sugar? Okay. Okay. My guides are having me kind of like slow down my words and stop to think about them, which is really annoying, but they're strongly encouraging that we stop for a minute when we're having those stressed out periods and think, okay, where am I doing okay? And where do I need a little bit of assistance, okay? And as I was saying, more often than not, I'm eating too much sugar. It could be different for you. Maybe you're having too much caffeine. That can sometimes manifest in us and make us feel a little more anxious. I know it does with me. If I have too much, then I have the feeling of anxiety when it's completely unnecessary. But yeah, it doesn't really matter exactly what it is for me. Like, it doesn't matter. I'm like, what do you want me to say? And they're just like, nothing. Shh, nothing. Just be, Jenna. Just be. Okay, super annoying. But anyways, that's what we're getting at here. whatever the stress is, taking some time to be quiet and to bring in that calmness so that we can have that clarity of prioritizing, but also why am I so stressed out? That is really important, right? So it's good to have the methods, the aromatherapy, the breathing exercises, making sure that we're staying centered and eating healthy and taking care of our bodies, but we're missing the why. Why do I feel so stressed out? Okay? And that's how we release it, honey. That's how we release it. Because you did have on the bottom of the deck the surrender the drama card. So sometimes the drama is the drama that we have in our head, maybe building up situations, anxious, anxiety. I don't know how many times I created scenarios in my head that were like so scary and then they never ended up happening. And I'm laughing at myself because I know. But sometimes we make things up in our head to be worse than what they actually are, right? So it's more about us figuring out why is this stress here. But you know how we got there, Jenna? From figuring out how to calm ourselves, how to calm our minds, and recenter so we can focus on the most important thing, right? My guys are like, it's all well and good to take a bath. It's all well and good to use a magic bag and to try to de-stress or to sniff some lavender. But in the end, we always come back to why. Why is this stressing me out? Okay? I told this story before, so hopefully it's not the millionth time that you've heard this. But there was this girl that was treating me, who was trying to be my friend, but at the same time she was backstabbing me, and she was kind of doing like the passive aggressive, under her breath, like rude comments around me, and I'm like, okay. Anyways, when I left my job, she messaged me, and nice Jenna was like, I should probably message her, but I really don't want to. And then it got to the point where it was too late for me to message back, for it to be, anyway, it doesn't really matter. But I'm just like, I kept thinking, I don't want to message her. She doesn't deserve a message from me. But then I was stressed. I kept stressing for weeks and weeks and weeks. Why is this bothering me? Right? She doesn't deserve my reply back. Why is this bothering me? And then it clicked. I'm ignoring her. And I hate being ignored. I felt ignored a lot in my life, and I never wanted anyone else to experience that. And as soon as that popped into my head, bye-bye guilt. I didn't feel bad anymore. It's just, it is what it is now. And that's why it's so important for us to dig deep down into the why. But we're going to get there in baby steps, okay? So that's why having those better coping mechanisms are great, and then trickling it down until we can figure it out. I mean, I've been working with my guides for a couple of years now, and what we really focused on was my physical health first. And then when I felt strong enough, we started working more on my mental health. I mean, there was a bit of mental and emotional in there, but I needed that stability first. So this is kind of like building that stability where we have the coping mechanisms. I can't speak today. Coping mechanisms, and then gradually moving on until we can deal with the deeper issue, okay? That's what I'm getting there for stress. And that method is good for anything, but definitely for stress, because you're going to keep experiencing the stress until we deal with the core issue, okay? Whew! I didn't know we were going to dig that deep, Libra. Of course, if it wasn't a general reading, I could dig a little deeper, but that's okay. We'll get there. Okay, so the next thing that you're being encouraged to release, Libra, is fear. Fear. Now, I love this one. This one's kind of a shorter one. But releasing fear to me of moving forward, of doing things that are beyond the limitations that we've set for ourselves. So I'm seeing this with myself as well, where I don't know about you, but right now I know I want to move forward, but my mind keeps going back to the old ways, because to me that's the capacity or the limits of what I can achieve. Or maybe what we can handle is what I'm hearing, because we do have the athlete in reverse and he's trying to lift up a really heavy boulder. Now, my guides keep saying we're stronger than we know, we're stronger than we realize. So moving through fear is actually easier than we think it is, okay? Moving through fear. Now, the one thing I love about this card is it talks about taking baby steps and celebrating the baby steps. That's how we move through fear. They're making me think of the next thing that I want to do, which is to get my license again. So that scares the bejeebers out of me. It absolutely does. But I know I can do it. I've done it before. And a lot of the times, again, it's what's built up in our heads, right? So my guides are saying you've been through worse, Jenna, which is a message for you as well, Libra. We've been through worse. We can handle this. We've been through worse. Yeah. Okay. So whether you approach this in baby steps, which is always suggested, or you just tackle it head on, Libra, you'll find that when you come on the other side, it's not as bad as we anticipated it. And I also love that, so when I took the card that was on the bottom of the deck off, I'm like, oh yeah, I know what we're talking about here. So for the surrendering fear, we also have surrender to your full power. And it says your life is calling for you to step into your full power rather than playing it safe. Now, that does not diminish taking baby steps. No, because when we are fearful but we move forward anyways, that's bravery, right? That's us extending the limits. It's like we're breaking through the limits of what we thought we could do or what we thought we could handle. I keep hearing the word handle. Handle what we can handle, okay? For some of you, this definitely has to do with things that you've wanted to do, things that you've thought about doing, or maybe you've done it in the past but you didn't think that you were good enough, because we have this card on the bottom of the deck, and to me she's looking longingly at a violin, and she's just like, oh, like she wants to pick it up, but there's a bit of hesitation, maybe some fear there. So it could be fear of performing in front of other people, fear of not coming off as good enough. So my guides are like, hey Jenna, you know how you've been screwing up your words lately, especially in this video? Did anybody notice? Did you notice? Probably. Did it bother you? Maybe not. Some of you maybe. But a lot of the times, again, we think things in our heads that they're going to be worse than what they end up being, and that people's comments are going to be worse than what they end up being. So if you are afraid of what other people are thinking, it's never going to be as bad as we make it up in our head, or it's never going to be as bad as the things that we've told ourselves, okay? And my guys are saying, I know it's easier said than done, and that's why we take the baby steps, right? So we take the baby steps so we can move forward without overwhelming ourselves. So if this is you wanting to try something new, want to break out into a new career, want to pick up the violin, want to learn, my guys are like, want to learn cross stitch, which is what I'm learning right now, or crochet. It doesn't matter what it is. If there's something that you want to do, or something you want to go back to, something you want to learn, a goal that you want to reach, just keep going, okay? Just keep going. Yeah. Okay, so again, my guides want me to talk about when there's a fear there, why is it there? If we can take that breath and center again, why is it there, Libra? Why are we afraid to do this? Why are we afraid of what other people might think if we took up the violin? Why are we afraid of what people might say? They're showing me doing my tarot readings. I was afraid of people saying negative things about me. Of course I was. Like, who likes to hear negative things, right? But why was there fear there? Definitely for hearing those negative comments, which I haven't received yet, thankfully. But also, you know, I didn't think I was good enough, right? So they're kind of saying, you know, let's take a step back then. If we're afraid, let's take a step back and figure out, why am I afraid? And sometimes we just need to say to ourselves, okay, is this fear legitimate? Right? If we're doing something like, I don't know, some kind of extreme sport, is the fear of dying? Yeah, that's legitimate. That's completely legitimate. But for me, why am I so afraid of doing my driver's test? I don't like being judged for my performance, because that always stems back to me feeling not good enough. Not good enough. Okay, so when I can figure that one out, that one requires a little bit of a deeper dig than, say, me figuring out why I was stressing about not replying back to this girl. But when we take some time to unfold that, Libra, then we can move forward, whether it's in baby steps or charging forward. Because then they're making me feel lighter and a sense of freedom, okay? Then we don't have to keep walking forward and moving forward feeling that we're pulling a heavy weight behind us, right? That allows us to move forward and surrender to our full power. Interesting. Okay. I like, this is a little bit deeper than I was thinking. And my guides are like, we're not here to do surface level shit, Jenna. We are not here to do surface level shit. Okay. All right then. All right. We're gonna do a deep dive. That's okay. I'm okay with that. And just with any kind of deep dive or digging, we take baby steps, little bits at a time. Releasing the fear. Okay. And they're saying that releasing the fear could be like unraveling things, right? So we have an epiphany and we unravel a little bit, and then we go on our merry way, and then another fear comes up, or an insecurity, and you know, we might have to unravel that one as well until we completely unravel it, and then we're free from that fear, okay? Okay. Okay, Libra, last one. So my guys are saying, this is a quickie, okay? You have the sadness card. The sadness card. So releasing sadness. Now, the way that I'm interpreting this, this could be crying. There's some sort of release of emotions, okay? Definitely with the Fool card in reverse, he's crying, but he's hiding behind a mask. So to me, this is talking about, if it was upright, hiding emotions. So this could be you crying, which is a very, very healthy release. This could also be you communicating how you're feeling, okay? We have the Healer card in reverse. So to me, the vibes that I'm getting from this is I really needed help when I was younger. And I didn't ask for it. I was afraid to ask for it. And luckily I was living with my parents, and my mom, I always say my mom was my voice because I was too scared to ask for help. I didn't want to ask for help, but I did. This isn't necessarily, it doesn't necessarily have to be emotions that are as deep or dark as maybe my depression was, but this is just about releasing emotions, whatever they are, okay? Okay, so yeah, when we try to keep our emotions inside, it doesn't serve us well. It's better that when we have the emotion to process it and let it out right away, because otherwise I just kind of interpret it as they build up and they kind of get compressed and then it comes out much worse, okay? And not to scare anybody, but they do. I've been working on release work and releasing stuck emotions since January of last year, probably like a little bit before that, but not as intense. Okay, and releasing some of the emotions, some of the trauma from when I was younger, and all of that built up, I don't know, all of those built up emotions. Yeah, it feels really good after it comes out, but it still kind of weighs on your heart a little bit for a bit. But I tell you now, Libra, now when I'm feeling emotions, I often gravitate towards my coping mechanisms, which are eating and watching Netflix. So eating is kind of a comfort thing for me, and I don't binge eat like I used to, but it's just like, okay, you know, maybe you want to have that cinnamon roll or something just to kind of like as a reward, like, oh, honey, you had a bad day, here's the cinnamon roll. But also watching, say, Netflix just to take my mind off of it. But when I'm doing it to soothe myself, but I also make a mental note to my guides, like, I want to process this, but just not right now. I just, like, give me a little bit time to process, and then I will. So I'm still putting out the intention that, hey, I want to feel this. Whereas before, I didn't want to feel it at all, which was not healthy for me, but that's the way that we operate, right? We get into survival mode. So this is what they're kind of saying here, is some of us, all of us, have emotions stuck within us that need to come out, that want to come out. If you're willing to let them come out. But also, okay. But also allowing them to come out as they come up, right? With the Healer card, yeah, you're not letting yourself heal, honey, is what I'm hearing. Okay, that makes more sense. You're not letting yourself heal because you're not letting yourself feel. Ooh, my guide's like coming up with slogans. You're not letting yourself heal because you're not letting yourself feel. okay? You can do this in baby steps as well. Some of my stuff, like mine has been gradual and baby steps, but some of it was just like, all right, let's take it all out. This is the time, okay? Not to scare anyone. It's a very liberating process. But some of you are really being encouraged, all of you are really being encouraged, if you're resonating with this right now, to let your emotions out so that you can heal, okay? Yeah. I just had a bit of a tough time, and I just kind of said to myself, okay, Jenna, you have 4 days to wallow, and then we got to deal with this, honey. And it's taking me baby steps to process it, but I'm still processing it, right? It's not a one and done, let's do this all in one day, because that's not healthy. That's not good. Everything in baby steps, okay? But getting to the root of the issue, getting to the root of the problem is what we always strongly suggest. Okay? So whether we are surrendering stress and figuring out why am I stressed about this, whether we are surrendering fear of moving forward, fear of doing the things that we've always wanted to do, fear of communicating to people, our feelings, fear of taking those big, bold steps, even if they're one baby step at a time, or releasing the sadness and the emotions that we feel within us. Okay? We need to look at why. It always comes back to why. Okay, Libra? I really love this message for you. Okay. I'm getting that if you need help with any of this, honey, any of this they're saying, ask your spiritual team, because they will help you through this. If you need help figuring out coping mechanisms for stress, ask us and we will help you. That will benefit you, yes. If you are requiring help to become more centered, ask us, okay? If you want to get to the root of any of these, ask us. Don't be afraid to ask us, they're saying, okay? Okay, Libra, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you like this message. It's a bit longer than I anticipated, but I really love the message for you. So thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I see you in the next video. Bye.